Ever kiss Melanie Griffith?
No.
Ever make out with...
Michael Jackson? Yes.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, you did, right?
Uh-huh.
My first girlfriend, who I really loved a lot, was Tatum O'Neal.
I love you.
Sometimes it's hard for me to look my dates in the eye even if I know them well. My dating and relationships with girls have not had the happy ending I've been looking for. Something always seems to get in the way. The things I share with millions of people aren't the sort of things you share with one. Many girls want to know what makes me tick, why I live the way I live or do the things I do, trying to get inside my head. They want to rescue me from loneliness, but they do it in such a way that they give me the impression they want to share my loneliness, which I wouldn't wish on anybody, because I believe I'm one of the loneliest people in the world. I didn't really have any girlfriends when I was in school. There were girls I thought were cute, but I found it so difficult to approach them. I was too embarrassed. I don't know why. It was just crazy. There was one girl who was a good friend to me. I liked her, but I was too embarrassed to tell her.
Michael Jackson on his first girlfriend Tatum O'Neal.
My first girlfriend, Tatum O'Neal, she'd won the Academy Award for Paper Moon. I was 16, she was 13. And was I naive?
Can't we go now? I want to get to church and pray for Mama.
At the age of 10, Tatum O'Neal became the youngest person ever to win an Academy Award.
Tatum O'Neal opens up to Andy Cohen about her on-again, off-again relationship with Michael Jackson during their teenage years.
How long did you date Michael Jackson? Was it like 2 dates?
No. It was on and off for a few years.
Really?
And I don't think anyone knows this, Andy, but while he and I, because we did a lot of talking on the phone because he was always on the road. And
What era was this?
We're talking Dynasty. That was his first record with the Jacksons. So it was pre Off the Wall.
Pre Off the Wall.
So I'm 14.
Okay.
But I had met him when I was 13. So we did a lot of chatting.
Los Angeles, January 1st, 1978. Michael Jackson and Tatum O'Neal dance at a party held inside a bank in celebration of the Jacksons' gold records in Los Angeles, California. Michael Jackson dances with actress Tatum O'Neal at an event July 1st, 1979 in the USA. During the July 4th weekend of 1979, the Jacksons' hit single Shake Your Body, Down to the Ground, was number 7 on the disco charts.
My first real date was with Tatum O'Neal. We met at a club on Sunset Strip called On the Rocks. We exchanged phone numbers and called each other often. I talked to her for hours, from the road, from the studio, from home. On our first date, we went to a party at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion and had a great time. She had held my hand for the first time that night at On the Rocks. When we met, I was sitting at this table and all of a sudden I felt this soft hand reach over and grab mine. It was Tatum. This probably wouldn't mean a lot to other people, but it was serious stuff to me. She touched me. That's how I felt about it. In the past, girls had always touched me on tour, grabbing at me and screaming, behind a wall of security guards. But this was different, this was one-on-one, and that's always the best. Ours developed into a real close relationship. I fell in love with her, and she with me, and we were very close for a long time. Eventually the relationship transcended into a good friendship. We still talk now and then, and I guess she'd have to say she was my first love, after Diana.
And he's around your age?
He was 18.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
I was surprised he couldn't know how to drive. So I was like, or didn't know how to drive. And I did want to teach me how to rolls and everything. I was like, come on, I can teach you. I'm 13.
Right.
I know how to do this.
Of course you do.
And we met at On the Rocks, which was this place in Hollywood that Lou Adler and Jack and everybody's sort of fat. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody had a special key like my dad, and it was kind of like such a weird place. And I remember he gave me his phone number, Havenhurst, on an On the Rocks matchbook, which I still have.
Wow.
So we stayed friends, but I remember I was on the phone with him once, and I was friends with Leif Garrett, and he came climbing through my window, and I was like,
Michael Jackson came climbing through?
No,
Leif
Michael
Garrett
and I
did?
were, yes.
You were on the phone with Michael Jackson,
and
Leif Garrett.
because we had to call him Leif, and he was trying to break in through my side door in the house I grew up in Malibu. And I was like, get out, Leif, get out. This is not good. And I think Michael heard, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to kill everything.
Now,
but it stayed. I had a problem, and I had my agent at the time, Sue Mengers.
Yes, the
legendary, said something she was like supposedly my mother, and she would forever regret telling me not to go to the Wiz premiere with him. And he never forgave me for that.
Really?
He had it all planned. And she goes, Tatum, you can't go. And I can't say the word she used on network.
Wow, that's terrible.
And then later she came to me and she was like, Tatum, I have to get Michael. And I was like, Sue, it's too late.
Right.
You blew it.
Yes.
And made me furious. She wanted to do everything, and I didn't want to have sex at all, because there were a lot of values associated with being a Jehovah's Witness.
My first girlfriend, who I really loved a lot, was Tatum O'Neal.
And was it a typically romantic adolescent love affair?
Yeah, it was. But I don't think I was ready for some of the things she was talking about. I was pretty naive, I'm not joking. I hope she forgives me for telling this story. Okay, Tatum, please forgive me. I remember her telling me to come over to the house, to her house. They have a Beverly Hills house too. And what she's going to do to me when I come. You know,
Well, what did she say?
all the sexual stuff. So I'm scared to death.
So she rings you and says, Michael, come to my house. I'm going to make love to you.
Yeah.
And you're really scared.
I'm scared. Scared because I've never done anything like that. I came over there trying to be Mr. Big Shot and brave. I remember she cut off all the lights in her bedroom, opened the curtains. You can see the whole skyline of the city over the cliff. It was beautiful. And she told me to go over and lie on the bed, and I did. I laid on the bed. And she slowly walked over, and she touched the button of my shirt to open it, and I took my hands like this, and I wouldn't let them down. And she just walked away. She knew I was too shy for it. That's what happened.
Did you not feel tempted at all? You just felt frightened.
I was frightened. I was afraid. I didn't think I was ready for that.
I mean, so were you guys like fooling around? Because he, it's always talked about that he's very asexual.
Well, we kissed.
We kissed,
and I think it all got kind of screwed up because he got very mad at me about the Wiz. So he later went on Martin Bashir and said something I think negative. I'm not exactly sure, but I loved him and always will. But
it was not necessarily a physical relationship.
No, I believe that he had that with other women like Priscilla.
You do.
Not Priscilla.
Lisa
Marie, maybe perhaps Brooke, but
right.
with Tatum
no,
it was.
Brooke said
and
no.
Brooke said no.
No.
Well, Tatum is saying no.
I'm the archaeologist of this information.
I'm obsessed with that.
I will ask everyone who's dated Michael Jackson what happened.
No, I have no idea, and I can't.
Right.
can't tell you what it looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah, no. Well, that I don't.
And the thing is that having grown up famous since a young age, I could relate to his. Pop sensations are very different than actors.
Yes.
Because of the amount of fans you have. But I felt like I had a connection with him and loved him.
May 11th, 1984, Michael and Tatum attend a Kool and the Gang concert in NYC. MJ in disguise. MJ and Tatum O'Neal. This photo is from one of the wild nights Tatum says she shared with Michael Jackson. We were going to a Kool and the Gang concert, but Michael didn't want to be recognized, Tatum said. He had a special effects guy help him. We had a great night. No one recognized us, but some people gave us funny looks because he looked so much older than me. Michael loved it. He thought it was so funny. Rick created this beard and did some work on Michael's lips. He also gave him some makeup to make his skin darker. The next day, she claimed, they partied at the Playboy Mansion and shared a bath in the tub in their swimsuits.
When you were dating,
I took him to Hefner's house, and I'm convinced that when he saw Hugh Hefner's coterie, is that what you call it?
Of animals. You think that inspired his?
Absolutely, because he
Really?
was so isolated that even me coming and bringing in just a little of life was so big for him. I also think I had this Mugler jacket on when I was 21, and I had this cap, and I was 21 going to area and just being, or 20 or 19 being fabulous and stuff, and a cap and a Mugler jacket with the whole like, you know, shoulder pads, very, very military. Yeah. Suddenly, he's in a military thing. He's got the hat.
Really? Yeah, you feel like you...
We went to the Commodores. He wore full black face makeup to that for us to go together.
Really?
Yeah. So that was sort of our last date.
You mean he darkened his skin?
Darkened it.
Right.
And a beard and a wig.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because